basically that's kind of what the drawing's about. It's like there's gotta be text saying like, you know, whatever DeviantArt username. I haven't heard that name in years and shit. You know, something like that. And it's like I thought that would be a funny thing. And then it's like, fucking Puma goes, fucking, I bet you also hasn't seen his fucking toes in years. Like just a simple joke like that, but it's like, it's more than what a lot of other people would kind of do, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's sort of a, again, I think that's kind of a little bit of a cool thing. Just kind of, again, gift somebody who does like a lot of cartoon artwork, but paradoxically does not do a lot of, you know, does not a lot of like jokes and shit, you know what I mean? Like not a lot of, like not a lot of like, you know, kind of like what I do where it's like a basic scenario. Just like a single image or whatever. So always like, and kind of like what I'm kind of drawing right now where it's like a, kind of like me right now where I'm kind of like, just, you know, just drawing some character pose or like a character getting hit on the head or like some of the, you know, more fetishy bullshit. So it's like, you know, it's just kind of interesting going from, just kind of interesting to gift them with that kind of. I think that'd be kind of cool. No. Yeah, but basically, all right. Where's like the Nintendo thing? Right. Oh, okay. Cool. So we just got so I just opened up the stream. Is that all right? Cool. So and apparently we got one viewer. I already pre-announced it on the stuff, so I think we should be ready. Hmm. Really? Hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, now let me set up a specific window capture. Oh, we got somebody in the chat. Hi. Right. Chrome. Right. Cool. So yeah. Yeah, so today we kind of I basically recently I watched a video talking like basically talking about Mother 3, you know, that one video game that everybody seems to just adore. And it's just like it made me really just it just kind of make me fucking mad for some reason. Yeah, again, so I got that. It made me yeah, it made me do the cartoon review pose. Yeah, this video, I love the title already. Fucking how Mother 3 breaks you. Like, again, it's an older video, and like this is one of those things where I think we really have to put this into kind of a bit of a historical context. Because I was just thinking that where it's like, it's freaking weird that a video from like the, you know, from like 4 years ago already needs like historical context, but I feel like that's just kind of the reality that we are living in now. So because something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's a weird situation, but it's like, yeah, apparently this video basically did come out like 20 YouTube years ago, and it's like, to me, it screams, why videos from the pandemic were like really freaking, that were like just content from the pandemic was really fucking bad. Just because everybody felt so sad, everybody felt so isolated, and it's like, it basically that stuff wasn't really sustained for long enough to for a lot of popular consensus to really develop in terms of that. You know what I mean? It was just like how it manifests in this video. I feel like is kind of, I feel like a lot of people were just really freaking sad during the pandemic, and so I feel like this is kind of the historical context, like this sort of like depression, like sort of down low moment. I feel like that's kind of where we have to put this video kind of into, where it's like nowadays I feel like you would get clowned on if you really said fucking, you know, like this little children's game really is like this emotional fucking roller coaster, just because like there's an ending, spoilers, there's an ending that just where it has the character saying, "Oh, you matter," or whatever, or like, "I hope you're having a good day," or whatever, like a speech, like a text bracket. And it's like, but I feel like it truly makes sense of that to be like a really emotional freaking situation in during the pandemic years, or like in the immediate aftermath back in like, again, oh fuck, this is actually earlier. This is 2021. This is just like almost 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't really say that too, because it's like I really don't remember how many videos of his I've actually seen. I think I remember some. Like, I think the bizarre modern reality of modern Sonic, I think I've seen that. But like, yeah, I feel like the Simpsons thing too. But yeah, I feel like I feel like I watched a lot of his videos before this, like before the pandemic, and then I feel like I really just fell off because I don't like none of these newer things really, like, I don't remember a lot of them. What, like a nostalgia critic bit? Oh, that is weird. Hmm. Because I just remember watching a couple of things. It's like the fake video games video I watched. Friggin', I watched the Riverdale video. That was pretty fun. Like that was a pretty good trip. But it's like, other than that, like, bro, like maybe. Hmm. Hmm. Like this anime here, fucking, I forgot what it's called. With like the funny looking like fucking W mouth girls. I've seen a lot of videos, or I've seen a little bit of a bit with these characters, and like if there's an anime I really want to watch, it's this one, because it's basically like just a shitpost anime. Like this one here, where it's like, again for YouTube preview, whatever. Like this one, like this is I think what I've heard is like a fucking weird and kooky, um, like kind of like a shitpost anime, like kind of a rug pull type of thing, like the like a little bit of a meta comedy bit, and I really want to dip my toes into this one, but I keep forgetting what it's called. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, like to me, Super iPad Wolf is really weird. And I, especially again going back to this video, how Mother 3 breaks you. It's really one of those things where I'm like, what makes it crazy to me, or what really makes me doubt myself towards this video is I don't know, because I've seen people defend this game, this series to shit. Like I've seen people hype up Mother 3, or like, Mother 3 will never come out, like here, whatever, like this is like the peak writing that cannot be understood by Western minds, that type of shit, Like, because there's also some legal stuff, but it's like one of those things where it's like it's so good, and he's talking about a fan translation, I think, and it's just one of those things where it just kind of, you know what? I feel like these people have to be full of shit. I think it's a Nintendo thing. Like I think the whole Mother 3 thing is such a Nintendo thing that it's like it's too weird in Japanese for like like Western audiences. That's I think that's what I've heard, what they thought back in the 90s. And ever since then Nintendo did a Nintendo Saurus and like just pissed off everybody and didn't give them what they wanted. Like that's kind of what I've heard of why Mother 3 or I want to call it Earthbound 3 because that's what I fucking heard it. Because that's the sequel that they retitled, and it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the holy grail for like these like nerds who really like the type of RPG with like the fucking conga line, like this conga line of characters that just come up behind you or whatever. Like your fucking Dragon Quest like people, and like people like Omori and stuff like this. Like that one game Omori is like basically just another Mother fan game. Like it's just like Undertale, where it's just, yeah, it's like, I mean we've shared the fucking meme, right? We've shared the fucking meme. I want to fucking, like the Bubble Bass indie game meme. Fucking here, get ready for some Puma voice acting. I take a double triple in the Earthbound inspired story on a raft, fueled by depression and violence, bad pixel art style. Extra quirky dialogue with a Metroidvania and a squeeze, like RPG mechanics, make it roguelike, burn it, and let it souls-like. Like this shit. Like, to me, this is what this is what Earthbound and the Mother franchise is to me. It's just like this really like it's like a certain subsection of like Nintendo adults, and I can't tell if Super iPad Wolf just happens to be like one of those people, because they like unironically, or I think unironically, he just shells like these weird like scrapbooks, like these weird like you've seen the video, right? great. That is fucking funny. I love that. That is really hilarious. Yeah, like this is one of those things where again, just wait. Sorry, let me. Can I just put this underneath? Oh, cool. I can. Cool. Yeah, this is one of those situations where I feel like I'm in the same boat, and I really had to like. This isn't just like a zoning out type of thing. This is one of those things where I just kind of have to just kind of force myself even to just watch this, because it's like, again, there are some moments where I just kind of put my head in my hands and weep. It's like, are you fucking joking? Is this really your standard type of feeling? Both. Both. It's the sincerity and like, again, this hyping up of something that's like so basic. You want to start the video? Sorry, let me actually write the thing because he doesn't translate it. The dinosaur dies and then the baby one howls and stuff. There's a villain. It really is a tearjerker. I didn't think I'd tear up that much, oh man. Tear up, fuck. Why is that? Why is the word tear and tear written the same way? That's weird. Strange, funny, and heart-rending. Oh, okay. Sorry. So basically, he talks about this thing was apparently came out in like 2000 and either 3 or 6. I'd have to rehear it, and which is like super fucking long, especially for like this game. But it's like, to me, this really basically, yeah. But the core still stands strong. Where it's like, hey, like again, the video game is like, you know, like Mother 2 was sold so fucking poorly that it's like it didn't get a response in the West. What the fuck does that mean? It in certain ways doesn't exist. You gonna elaborate on that? No? Okay. It doesn't exist. I guess this is like the stuff that got cut on the you know, like that was left on the cutting floor, but it's like then that's not the game, that's the pre-production. So that should be a distinction, right? Or is he talking about like the fan translation? Like not being official, like you know what I mean? Where it's like I guess. Sure, it's a little bit of a pretentious way to phrase that, though. Again, one of the most beautiful games he's ever played. Look at this, like, look at this. I think in a post Stardew Valley world, like this look, just like Oh my god, no. Like, I cannot get behind that. Like, again, let's count the fucking pixels on the character. That's like... Okay, that's like, what is it, like... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... So it's like 14 pixels wide. Let's say 14 pixels. I'm bad at counting, just... Bleh, let's just say 14 pixels wide. It's like... Really? I guess 13 because it's an uneven number, clearly. But it's like, yeah, no. Well, good thing that I actually put the speed at like 1.25. So let's put it at 1.30 for luck. Watch how much storytelling happens in this amazing screen. Okay, shy, nervous. Do you get this from this animation? Yeah. Yeah, see? That's kind of what I'm thinking too. It's like this is kind of where this like reading too much into shit because it's a Nintendo game starts. Hmm? Just post it right on there. It's just like photorealistic faces just on these fucking blocky ass fucking shits. That's a really funny image. But I don't know if I should Photoshop that together. Nah, that's not a word from the video, but I really want it. Yeah, too much for a bit. Fuck, I have that in my head now. Thanks for planning that. So we got Klaus, the cartoon German name, Lucas, the, I guess, American name, Flint, the most American name possible, and I forgot her name, fucking Japanese thing. And it's like, to me, none of these names really make any coherent sense. But I guess this is just like the fucking world. Like, I don't know, to me, I know this is a minor gripe, but it's like, when you have a clearly Japanese name and the most American name possible, short of naming your fucking self John Stone, or some horseshit like that. Then again, Flint is a Flint Stone. Oh, fuck it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But to me that already kind of, at least to me, it has that effect of like, Yeah, I guess these could be named whatever the fuck I want it to be. And I don't know if that's me not giving the game like a chance, or if it's like, well, that way don't. Well, in that case, if we all know what people will do when you give them a fucking name, like this is the fucking like this is the same company, the same system where you name your rival in Pokemon Dick Balls or something like that. So it's like, yeah, yeah. I never understood that because it's like, especially in like Legend of Zelda or whatever, you will always just call him Link. Like that's actually really funny. That's really funny, actually. Hmm. Oops. Okay. Now we're actually out. Okay. Now we have actually gotten. Wait a minute. Let me. Um. Okay. Now we actually got a thing. Cool. Okay. Cool. Now we actually got the thing out. Cool. Yeah, like this is one of those things. I can't believe you didn't know that. Yeah, because it's such a meme of saying, "Oh, you didn't know that Link's name was Link."
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is such a thing where I'm just like, "Oh wow, really?"
Well, it's just one of those things of like back in the era where the internet wasn't what it was, and then all my friends played PlayStation, so I didn't know. And it's that era of like pick your console and stick with it. So I had PlayStation, then I got the Dreamcast, and then the Xbox, and the rest is history. So
Yeah, like this is a weird situation where this is one of those weird situations where we actually again it shows that even though we're only 9 years apart, we really do have a we really do have such a big difference. Because like to me, I never like honestly, other than the DS, I never had a Nintendo console before I got the Wii. And even then, I only played like a couple of games on the Wii, like Wii Sports and shit, you know? Like I never played like I never got into like the Nintendo franchises. I don't know how long it was until I actually got a real Mario game. Like legit.
mm,
Like to me, the like Zelda and Nintendo and like Zelda and Mario were always like these things like again these like fucking 20 to 30-year-old nerds on the internet talked about. Like it took an absurd amount of time. It took me until I was like 14,
yeah,
like
that
12 or
that sounds
14.
about right. That was around the time I would say on 2011, 2012, when like Nostalgia Critic or James Rolfe, at least to me, became known. I was like, oh, I guess Nintendo kids are a thing, or I guess Nintendo's popular with the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it really hit me because again, I was such a in your own world thing. What's the internet? I don't know. I'll get to it one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's wild just to have that experience. And like you said, the idea that everybody knows who Link is or who Zelda is, or you know who that is, and it's just the way the culture osmosis is. Like I feel like everybody knows the freaking lines from the Philips CDI by now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's one of those things where the whole Link Zelda thing is just it's so in the cultural like canon. Like again, like the acolytes of Nintendo. To me, that's just like how I grew up with a lot of this stuff, you know. So yeah, it's just crazy to not like to remember a time where like these were like actually more institutionalized because like again I grew up with Nintendo with like the Brawl era and like where like the Wii era where like Nintendo was like just like this thing for like nostalgia nerds or like Wii casual gamers.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, that's about right. Like to me, growing up, yeah, like around this time too. To me, it's like, yeah, the Wii was like, it almost felt like a glorified arcade machine where it's like, oh, you play it for fun, or you play it with your family, or you play it with your grandparent. And then there was the dark time of the Wii U, and to me, it's like, oh, I guess that console's dead. And then it
Mm-hmm.
just sprung back to life. So it was kind of a weird era, at least for me when I think of Nintendo and like that.
Yeah, to me, I never understood Nintendo fans because to me it was always just like it's the kind of fun little console, like the fun little situation, and like I would never like dream of defending Nintendo the way like a lot of the acolytes do, or like again even just like the 20 to 30 something nerds, which now I realize are now approaching their like fucking 40s or 50s. And that was a weird thought I had today where it was like, holy shit, that was a long, that like, damn, son.
Oh yeah, half a century.
Yeah, it's like really like the Nintendo people really like especially like people like Bob Chipman. Then again, Bob Chipman and shit like that. I feel like they were always like 50-year-olds in spirit. Where it's like again because they had such a childhood obsession with Nintendo that it was like, oh my god, you're making this like your entire. I mean, your life peaked in the 1980s or like the 90s, really. Like this was where
Mm-hmm.
like nostalgia and shit was really just like inescapable.
Yeah. I always want to ask because you kind of mentioned that too. What about, at least to me, the Nintendo generational gap? Like like your parents and stuff like that are like, oh man, you got to play Nintendo, and you're like kind of whatever. But then I think of things like either Scooby Doo or fucking Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's weird because it's like it's just Nintendo is just such a again Nintendo like in a weird way I feel like a lot of the other stuff has a lot more staying power. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could go like obviously not everything is going to age like one, but like something like Scooby Doo is so not non-effort, but it's so easy to it's so easy to just enjoy. Like Zoinks and the stuff like that, but it's like with Nintendo, it's always like these mute protagonists. You know what I mean? It's always like this
Oh yeah.
mute protagonist, like barely having characters to really to speak of. You know what I mean? I know I say that a lot, but it's like yeah.
Is it just because you think you're in the mindset of like, I don't need a character where I can implant myself on? Just give me a character.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's just I need a character to really again for it to stick in my mind because it's if it's like one of those Nintendo blank slates I don't know it's just always been a person that just plays a limited amount of games for just the vibes alone and it's like if I don't have a character like that to me Nintendo has always been like the antithesis of like what I could actually see myself enjoying. It's always like this thing where does it have a story? No. Does it have like a vibe? I guess, but it's like all put down into the gameplay. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
really, it's always like this thing where Nintendo fans almost. Again, I never understood the appeal because it's like to me it's just like it hits like the worst vibes of my autism where it's like it's not consistent enough and it's at the same time way too similar. Like Legend of Zelda, I hate the idea of having a franchise that is like it's for sort of kind of the same protagonist, but like suddenly he's like the chibi, like shell-shaded like Wind Waker Link, but then he's like like the Zelda 1 and 2, which is like its own thing, and like the whole Zelda timeline thing that was just put over the whole Nintendo stuff. Where it's like the whole, like the whole Nintendo stuff was just always a little bit of a too samey but too different at the same time. It's like it wasn't like if I just liked the way one thing looked, it's like, I could get myself attached to that, but it's like always because maybe it's also because I got introduced to it by like the nerds. It's like, so which one is actually the good one? Which one like actually looks interesting? Which one is actually like really interesting? And it's like, to me, what I always like discerned from it was like, none of these are, because like none of these, like all of these are just done through text boxes, or like just very simple like mute cutscenes, because you know that's international appeal, and it's like, you know, they're more like silent children's cartoon, very easily understandable thing. It's like, to me, that never really grabbed me.
Do you think a large percentage of Nintendo? Because I think I've heard enough people talk about it where it's like it broke new ground, so it's like the most amazing thing, but you kind of see it, and it's like I don't, you know, it just that level of breaking. It's like I don't, you know, to you, it's like I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of one of those things. I don't think I see the big deal.
Like Mario 64, wow, it's in 3D. It's like the future. 'Cause I remember that. I remember seeing that back in the day, and it's like, well, I guess that's the future, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, like I for the longest time, you know, we had an N64. We never had a Super Nintendo, and
Mm.
you know, can you imagine going from um, old school Nintendo to a freaking PlayStation One? It's like, wow, your mind was blown.
Yeah.
This was like '98, I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, you think it's just that kind of like, you know, like, do you think Nintendo is kind of a bit like Disney too, where it's like you had to be there in that moment to get the that cultural zeitgeist, or is it just
Yes, yes, absolutely. Where it's one of those things where it is, you know, like there, in a lot of gaming discussions, there is this talk about like Nintendo adults are the Disney adults of gaming, where it's like it's so about the brand and so about the vibe of, you know, Mario, and like, oh no, this is the greatest game, like no, this one is the perfect. It's like a more combative thing of like, which is the best Disney movie, where like that really doesn't really exist, because everybody just lumps the Disney Renaissance, you know, all into one.
yeah?
So it's like, I feel like that's commonly considered with that certain group of people to be the best stuff they ever put out. I disagree, but then again, I'm not a Disney adult. I'm just kind of like, I always like those movies that always fell in the margins, like Oliver and Company or The Rescuers or The Great Mouse Detective. You know, like those side movies that like, yeah, no, they aren't gonna get like the biggest treatment, or even gonna never gonna get a fucking live action remake, thank God. It's like Atlantis the Lost Empire was pretty good, but I feel like I kind of got over that too. But it's like, yeah, I feel like Nintendo, it's always one of those things where it's always so combative. It's like, there's like subgroups like, no. I feel like it's one of those things where, because they're actively still being made, and it's like, it's almost like, it's always like the part of the Nintendo experiment that is like, how, where are they going to go next? Like, I feel like this is where my autism differentiates from the Nintendo adult autism, where it's like, those people are interested in, it's going to be similar enough, but where does it go? I feel like me and those people are similar than I would like to admit, personally, on just like a off the cuff basis. But I feel like you know, I go, okay, it's not always going to be the same thing, and I don't get an entry point. Okay, but the problem is they got an entry point, they are in there, and then oops, Nintendo makes another game in the same series, but in a different art style. Oh no! Just try. It's not the same world anymore. Oh no, you went from Wind Waker to like um your Breath of the Wild and stuff like this, like something completely new. And I feel like
Hmm.
that's always like that. People don't like that. Some people like that, but not like the people who gonna make the entire identity that previous thing that looked and acted a certain way. Again, I personally think I like Twilight Princess's aesthetic. When I go down and play it, I don't really care because it's still a Zelda game. But it's like, for people who like Zelda games and like that aesthetic, when then the next game comes out and has a totally different thing going on, they're gonna be really upset. And that's, I feel like, across all Nintendo franchises, is what keeps them in, but it also keeps them really perpetually angry. And I feel like Nintendo, being the weird old-timey Japanese company that it is, with like just the weirdest ways, like, you know, like Nintendo exceptionalism. Um, that's just, at the same time, it keeps people in, but it, at the same time doesn't have them advancing.
Hmm.
Like, Nintendo is a fine, but again, this is why I really go against that notion of like Mother 3 or like generally Nintendo franchises are like this thing that you should put that much stock into, or like you should get yourself, let yourself be enchanted by it the same way. Again, using the Disney metaphor, like you would in a Disney movie.
I'm not familiar. Is Mother 3 like a game published by Nintendo, or is it like a Nintendo in-house game or whatever?
It's one of those weird first-party franchises where it's like it's both. Because it's so Nintendo. Because I feel like now, like the weird, it's part of that weird Nintendo environment. It's part of that weird Nintendo,
Okay.
yeah, where it's like it's so baked into the DNA of Nintendo that it virtually. It's kind of like where Rare was in the 90s before Nintendo was stupid enough to let them go and go to Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's like, it's basically a Nintendo studio. That's at least what I gather from it. And it's like, this is kind of the through line of why I hate this video.
Flynn steps aside to make room for her, and we get a portrait of just this really happy little family. And look at how much we've learned, not just about who these people are, but the different relationship dynamics that exist between them. I mean, seriously, if you can think of a name entry screen that does more for its game's story than this, then please leave it in the comments, as well as your home address, so I can come to your house and fucking fight you!
Again, this is kind of the territory where we're like, is he doing the bit? Like, is this a bit you're doing? And like, yeah. I guess to be fair, I don't hate this name entry screen. Like, it's cute. It's like it has character, but it's not gonna be the greatest thing ever. I like it, and I feel like it should be the standard for like games like this. And that's an upside to like the whole Earthbound inspired game. It's like at least people who really get popular in that space know that it's all about character, and I feel like that's what those games always have. Too bad, like it's a character that I really don't care for. Because it's always gonna be like it's always gonna be steeped in that weird like pseudo Japanese weirdness. Just that like, okay, this is like none of this has like hand and foot, and maybe it makes sense in Japanese, but also maybe it's like something purely cerebral, which in turn is more in line with I think what I see as Japanese culture, but you know. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna skip over that.
Are excited to be together, and the little moments that follow build on that, like how you wake up as Lucas in your pajamas, but try and run outside, and Hinawa stops you before gently guiding you back upstairs to get changed. And it's subtle, but what I love about this moment is how it puts you in the place of Lucas, of this overexcited child who tried to do something silly like run outside in your pajamas. And when Hinawa stops you, it forces you to see her from Lucas's perspective, as this gentle, caring, loving presence, protective of her sons. And it's a little moment, but it establishes the connection between the two beautifully. And same when you find
I like how that mirror has a reflection.
Little moment establishes the connection between the two beautifully.
It's
and
funny how
you find
we always bring up the example of Mafia 3 did mirrors so poorly that every time I see a mirror, I'm like, see, was that so hard, Mafia? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I remember now. I watched the video before. It's like one of those things where Lucas goes up to
him even helping you learn to fight in the tutorial battle with this little mole cricket, building on that feeling that Klaus is someone Lucas looks up to and learns things from. And it's like, god damn, every part of these characters' lives, it all just feels so cozy and wholesome, and unfortunately, it does not last. You take control of Flynn.
No shit, it's almost like it's a JRPG, but everything gets fucked up, like that genre is basically built off of.
When it's the JRPG, my mom dies, she's gonna come back as the final boss.
You're not that far off, actually. Like, it's literally just like she doesn't come back as the actual boss, but she comes back as a fucking ghost that makes her son, like, cry and shit, and basically stops being fascist.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like...
Is there really fascism in this game?
Yeah.
Oh. That is such a Japanese game.
Yeah, that's such a Japanese fucking game.
It's either corrupt government or gods or whatever.
Yeah.
And we must defeat them.
Yeah, it's basically like, yeah, fucking spread yourself a big fat dose of Akira onto this. The fucking American with neon signs or whatever.
Oh. Well, could have been that one Akira movie we never got. The one where it's like, what if 9/11 but Akira?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's a good thing. That movie would have sucked.
Oh, really?
Yep. The script leaked, and everyone's like, "Wow, this is terrible."
Really?
Mm-hmm. But that's
Damn.
That's a rabbit hole for another time, though.
Damn it! You introduced me to something I'm actually more interested in.
Oh no.
Because again, I feel like we always like shot our load with the beginning with just talking about like the being of being a Nintendo fan.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck it, that's just deep in that, you know. I would love to get into that.
Who's waiting for Hinawa and his sons to return from their grandfather's cabin. But something isn't right. People have seen massive mechanical ships in the skies above the village.
Massive mechanical ships, what, like an airplane or a helicopter? No, because this is a weird, quirky Japanese world.
Nothing more strange than a dirigible. That's how you know
Yeah.
we're in a dystopia.
Exactly.
Wildfires have been sending the once peaceful wildlife into violent frenzies. After Flint rescues a child from a burning building, he's approached by Isaac, who's just returned from the area where Hinawa and the boys were last seen. And he says this: "I heard what I think might have been screams." There's a subtlety to Isaac's words here. The creator of Mother 3 had to beg his programmers to implement a text system that would let him control the speed at which text appears on screen. And you can see how effective that is here. The slight pauses in between Isaac's words, making his speech feel slow and reluctant, conveying a subtle sense of dread, like he thinks there could be really something very wrong with Hinawa and the boys. And you feel it. You feel that fear as the entire village scrambles to find Flint's family. When finally,
I do
Flint
like
and
that.
Lucas
I
are
always
pulled
wish
from a
more games
river,
would implement
shivering
that, to be
and
honest.
cold, creating a
Oh, that's...
Because my go-to example of the worst to ever implement it was Bioshock. Did you ever play Bioshock with the subtitles?
No, I don't think so.
It like literally is like at the beginning where Andrew Ryan's doing his speech and he just drops the entire block of text on there. It's like, that's too much. Break that up.
Oh, that sucks. That actually sucks.
Yeah, so it's like I wish more games would kind of do dialogue like that. At least to me, that sounds like a cool little feature.
That actually does sound like a cool little feature. Again, it's like, this is the problem where you have some really good games, like good game ideas mechanically. It's really cool. It's really like just kind of that idea of like really building up upon that genre of like the JRPG kind of conventions, adding more character. Actually, it feels like the product of somebody who's worked with it way too much, and like now actually wants to be, you know, that knows how to use their tools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that, but it's again, it's still a JRPG. It's like I like the little character moments, but I feel like the actual day-to-day gameplay just like really just that makes it uninteresting for me. And again, there's just this look of like these. It's like, bro, look at this dude. Look at this fucking hipster dude on the left.
He sounds like a dude who would have hang out with that guy from Y2K or whatever.
Yeah. Which, yeah, you know, it's also fucking Earthbound like, and I feel like that's my best argument for why I fucking hate Earthbound likes. This dude is literally yeeking out right now.
Moment of relief, and then it happens. Flint is...
Do you feel like a protagonist yet, Alex? Feel like a protagonist yet, Alex Yeek?
How many American soldiers did you kill today?
Oh my god, that'd be a match made fucking pretentious as hell. The protagonist of Spec Ops, the protagonist of fucking Walker from Spec Ops The Line, and then Alex from fucking Yeek. That would be fucking, oh god, that would be pretentious video game hell. I love this. And then they team up with those horrid fucking little pixel men with the LA Noire features that you talked about.
Yeah.
is approached by Bronson, the village blacksmith, and he has something to say. I picked up a giant Drago Fang.
Oh, I love this line.
It'll make a great weapon. I figured you could probably use it. As for the bad news, it's where I found the Drago Fang.
So I found this dragon fang with the gay ass name. It's from me making a really good weapon, but you're not gonna like where I found it. I found it in your wife. It wasn't
like a setup for like a Boomer comic.
It wasn't your wife.
I could just picture Rodney Dangerfield doing the face as he says that.
It wasn't your wife.
It was in your...
Good lord, this guy.
pierced through your wife's heart.
See, it pierced through your wife's heart. I wasn't actually joking. The funniest thing is, before I even watched this video the first time, I literally had to pause and go, I found it in your wife. Like, I literally said that as a joke, and then it just happened to turn out to be the actual fucking dialogue. Like, it just happened to be the actual fucking dialogue, and that was great. That was just really funny.
I'm kind of curious. I wonder if that's just, like, if you were to translate it from Japanese, or if that's just how the fan translation wrote it. Kind of like how everybody used to make fun of those bad, like, a lot of people didn't like JRPGs back then because they were so poorly translated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this, I don't know, maybe I'm not familiar with Mother 3. Is this one of those games where it's really well written in Japanese, but like maybe in English, or this translation doesn't do it justice?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Like, I don't know either myself, but I think it's a really funny situation.
Hinawa killed by a strange mechanical creature. The reluctant, childish way Bronson speaks here gives this moment a nearly delirious, absurdly cruel feel. But what really drives home the tragedy is the animation that follows. Mother 3 has an incredible amount of animation, particularly for a JRPG, and it gives even little moments a spectacle and emotion. And watch how beautifully Flint's anger and grief is conveyed here, the loss of his wife spiraling him into a frightening, delirious rage, even his own sons having to be shielded from his anger, until finally, Flint has to be knocked out. His final flicker of consciousness, the memory of the very last time he will ever see Hinawa, and she disappears from his life forever. This moment still really messes me up. The game having
I
pulled
like how
you
that
into
kid
this...
in the shirt is still smiling.
What?
That kid in the red shirt on the right is smiling the whole time.
Be knocked out.
Oh my god, he
His
is!
final flicker of consciousness, the memory of the
That's
very
funny.
last time he will ever see Hinawa, and she disappears from his life forever. This moment still really messes me up. The game having pulled you into this peaceful, gentle family life before ripping it apart in a way that feels so cruel and random and cold, emulating the way real-life tragedy often feels. And it's by doing that Mother 3 breaks you. Oh, no, wait, hang on. There's still like 23 hours left in this game. Oh, jeez!
Was it... Again, I can't tell if this was a joke. Like, did it really mess with you that much? Like, something that's so fucking generic? Like, oh no, the wife and the mother... The literal mother in this fucking JRPG dies at the beginning of the fucking game. The village gets fucking burnt. Like, really? That messes with you?
I guess, I don't know, maybe it's the age you would have played this at?
Is this a good argument?
Like, even though I never played it, I've seen it. To me, the best depiction of your entire village burned down was from Xenogears, where everyone just gets horrifically nuked. It's like, damn, didn't see that coming. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to tell because, that's always the trope of like idyllic village, everything burns down or something changes and you're forced to go on your adventure. But it's always hard to tell. Like, it could be really well done or it could just be, serviceable to get the story rolling.
Yeah, I feel like in this case it was serviceable. I feel like it was good, but it's still one of those things that's like, really, this messed with you? Like, in the way it was presented, like that, really? My initial I'm sorry.
Also, go on.
No, you're on.
I'm kind of curious because I know he talked about how long is the opening to this game before the world changes? Like, is this like literally like 2 minutes of dialogue and then suddenly your mom dies, or is it like a full 30 minutes? You know, you have little interactions, then the game kicks off.
It's really weird because like the way he puts it, it's like the way I understood it, it's like because he said there's still another 23 hours of this thing.
But Mother 3 breaks you. Oh, no, wait, hang on. There's still like 23 hours.
It's me, like, the way he talks about it is like this took 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The way is like, how can this even take 2 hours? Oh God.
He played it like a Rockstar game.
Oh God.
That 8-hour epilogue.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Alrighty then, I guess.
Hours left in this game. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, everything we've talked about so far, this is all just like the first 2 hours of the game. And to fully talk about what Mother 3 is, we now need to talk about a piece of stationery. Wait, no, that sounds really stupid. The Hobonichi Journal is like the best fucking journal in existence. They're these really well-made daily diaries with all these really interesting little facts and pieces of information. And I love these things. Seriously, I own like 3 of them. And I mainly use them to write about my feelings at night because...
Okay, so what are these actually? Are these all like the same books with the same printing and just a different cover? Like, I feel like... I don't get it.
Get one of those covers with your character on it and call it the Panther Journal.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, like all the contents and like the snippets, this is like the same across every single book.
I think it's just, is it customize your journal?
Yeah, but like,
Journal?
I mean, like, Mr. Electric, send him to the electric chair and have him expelled. Wait, no. God damn it. Damn it, it's like that fucking Shark Boy Logo movie. It's like half internet meme, half actual movie. Fucking, goddamn, I don't want to dive out into how fucking weird Robert Rodriguez movies are. Actually, I really do, because of that way I don't have to talk about Mother 3, but at the same time, that way I don't have to engage with like Nintendo adults, but it's like, Jesus Christ. Fucking Robert Rodriguez movies, right?
He had that faculty.
Yeah. But it's again, it's like, I don't think he's doing a good job at like trying to pitch me these journals, like even as like that much of a good like entry point. Because I gotta play my cards. I gotta put my cards on the table. I watched like the reason I'm watching this video, or like the reason I watched this video, was because this video was basically mentioned in a joke about like, you know, like bad internet, just like in an offhand thing, alongside quotes like fucking Bioshock is secretly genius, and like other like very surface level, like media literacy buzzword, where it's like it's making fun of a bunch of this stuff. And it's like, this is why I actually wanted to watch this video, because it was like, wait, this video is like fucking, this video is old as fuck, why is this in this video, you know? Like, why is this in this meme? And it's like, oh, yeah, now I get it. Now I get it. It's like, it's literally one of those things where it's like, this is the greatest fucking thing. And it's like, yeah, it's not.
Are you saying Mother 3 is the greatest game since Undertale?
It's the greatest game since Bioshock Infinite.
Mm-hmm. Since Bro, let's see.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, since Bury, let's see. But it's like, I don't really get the point of him talking about the journal.
It helps me.
Is it a sponsorship or?
No, it's not. He even says it. It's no, it's not. He's just a fucking soy facing over these fucking books that like the same amount of like. To me, I had like fucking like we called them Hausaufgabenhefte, which basically just means homework books or whatever. That have like little calendars and like little quotes and like shit and like little, honestly, basically boomer cartoons in them. So it's like, to me, the way he pushes them, it's like, it's incredibly silly because like we have the same fucking shit, just, you know, not Nintendo branded. And to him, it's like the most like cute, like soy-facing Nintendo or whatever. So it's like this, that early in the video just came across as like super weird when I first watched this video.
Sponsorship. I just think these things are really. I should have made this a sponsorship. My favorite thing about Hobonichi journals, however, is that each day comes with this little quote, each one coming from an expert in their field, ranging from topics like daily living, what it is to be human in a modern society.
By the way, this is literally the dude making a quote in the book about himself. Like, this is literally a guy putting a quote of himself in his book.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's kind of fucking funny when I realize that. When we say somebody is fun to be around, that doesn't mean they're full of jokes, but that they talk about new ideas. I guess that's deep. Like that's cute, I guess. Like, I guess I can sort of agree with that. But like, what's the point?
And what it is to create. And it gives these books a kind of soul, like it was made by someone with a deep passion and curiosity for the world around them. That person being Shigesato Itoi. Itoi is one of those people where the more you learn about him, the more weird and fascinating his life becomes. He spent a lot of his early years alone, his parents mostly absent from his childhood, and grew up to become the top copywriter of 80s Japan, leading massive anti-war campaigns like this poster, which loosely translates as "You first, Mr. Prime Minister." He also voice acted the dad in My Neighbor Totoro, launched Hobonichi Inc., one of Japan's most profitable companies, made a social media app for pets, has been arrested 5 times for political protests, wrote several very strange children's books, as well as novels centering around his different conversations with neuroscientists, rakugo actors, and game designers. He's this dude with an endless hunger and fascination for the world around him, and
That thing feels like an Oni plays creature. That's an Oni plays critter. I'm sorry, but like this is something from that I would see like as a joke in Smiling Friends. I know this has like some stupid significance in like the Mother franchise or whatever. It's like one of the fucking mascots. But frankly, I don't give a shit. To me, this just looks like an Oni plays thing.
Does.
The reason any of this matters to us today is he's also the creator of the Mother series. And what I think gives these games their soul is how you can feel Itoi as a person bleed into them, both in little mechanics like having to constantly call home to keep Nez from getting homesick in Earthbound, to that infinite, passionate curiosity manifesting in the world design of Mother 3. And to show you what I mean here, let's talk about baths. As a man who, on occasion, will bathe multiple times a day, I think baths are great. The sensation of letting life's troubles melt away in the steamy comfort of a hot bath is a pleasure I value greatly, which is why
I don't. I only take showers. Sorry.
it makes me so happy.
It's just I'm getting again. Now I'm getting revved up again with that the contrarian hatred. Because it's like it's like you're trying to obfuscate, and you try again. This is literally what people make fun of. It's like, this is so deep. This is what, like, we have to talk about baths. We have to talk about this guy. Isn't this guy neat? And like, oh, and it's just, God, it kind of makes me. It kind of makes me embarrassed for how I used to make my videos. Well, I still make my videos, but it's like, this is like the most, ooh. Like, so what's the end goal here? It's like, we have to interrupt the thing to just tell you that these are basically like save stations or whatever, like healing stations. And it's like just trying to like emulate like what it's like to have a bath in real life. You have to just have a bath in real life, okay.
The baths, or these hot springs, are a big part of Mother 3, in that baths are how you recover your health and magic, each bath having its own intricately designed little aesthetic, creating a unique look and atmosphere for each location. And that's an atmosphere the game literally forces you to soak in, as if you want the healing effects, you'll have to stay in the bath for at least 6 seconds. And what I think is really interesting about this is how it creates this little moment of pause, not just for the characters, but you, the player, where you just sit back and experience these beautiful little environments. And it's subtle, but I think it's in this you can see the philosophy of Mother 3's world design. With a lot of modern games, there's a focus on feeding the player upgrades to motivate them to explore its world. And that's cool, but what I love about Mother 3 is how it does the same, except with experiences instead of upgrades. And to show you what I mean here, I want to talk about a moment that...
Okay, are you ready for this moment? Are you ready for the absolute hype that is this moment?
What's that?
Are you ready for the absolute hype that is this moment? The moment that is coming up in the next, 5 to 10 seconds. Are you ready for the absolute hype of this moment?
Go for it.
The experience, Daniel, the experience. Remember, we're not just a video game, we are an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this experience?
I guess I am.
Happens about 9 hours into the game. At this point, you've become very familiar with present boxes, basically Mother 3's take on treasure chests, which usually contain things like health items or equipments, but then this happens.
Ooh, get ready for this one.
And what's interesting is that this moment doesn't benefit you
There were fireworks inside.
in any way.
Ah. This is literally the moment that he hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
This is apparently one of the biggest moments, whereas in any other game I would have just gone I guess that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this has the same amount of impact as that one encounter in Fallout 4 where you just come across that one synth and the real guy and you have to choose which one to kill. This has about as much impact as that moment has.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe a bit less, but it's kind of worthless, and I was kind of balking at this video when I first saw it. And especially even the character goes, just
I think it's kind of hard. I think maybe within the context of the game, I could see this being like a great moment, because I always think of there are games can pull off those moments, but you have to be legit invested in that game. Because I always think of that one scene from Mad Max where you're just exploring and you just come across a perfectly preserved house.
Below the surface, yeah.
But yeah, and it's oh, that's a great little moment. And you'll comment and it's that's kind of cool. I feel like this could be within the context of the game, but if you're kind of just describing, you're describing this great moment to somebody, but they don't have the context, and they kind of go, I don't see what the big deal is though.
Yeah, the thing again, you have to do a lot of work. At least for me, again, this is all just me going. You know what, I'm not gonna compromise myself. I think the whole presentation fucking sucks. I've seen more impactful fireworks in fucking Minecraft.
Really, never used the fireworks in Fallout 4?
Oh my god, I forgot that was a fucking thing.
You could just recreate this in Fallout 4 and you can get impressed with it.
God bless Todd Howard. Is that what you're trying to say by Skyrim again?
16 times the moment.
16 times the experience, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hate to equate it like that, but it's yeah, it's experiences. We don't offer gameplay, we offer you to create your own experiences by including fireworks.
This sounds like a CEO trying to explain why loot boxes are good for you.
It does.
You get nothing new and your stats aren't better. All you got was the memory of this happening. And I can remember when I first played this game and thinking how odd this bit was. But years later, long after I'd forgotten what Lucas's strongest weapon was, I could still remember this moment. And I think that's kind of beautiful in itself. But it's little moments like this that make up the world of Mother 3. And sometimes these instances are really subtle. Sometimes it's just the pleasure of experiencing these really weird or cool new environments, where everything from the pixel art to the sound design combine to create these really unique little atmospheres, even down to the distinctive sounds your feet make on different surfaces.
Okay, first of all, I think I like the idea of this scene. I really do. I just don't think it's that. I guess I think it's the limited color palette that really just bother me.
I don't know.
Just like, again, like I've seen what something like Stardew Valley can do. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the Game Boy Advance also a 32-bit system?
I think so.
So it's like, to me, like, these graphics just aren't quite there yet. I feel like there could be a lot more shading going on. I feel like there could be a lot more visual flair. But again, that's maybe me trying to look at this from a 2026 perspective and not from a 2006 perspective. Because, like, to me,
kind of hard because we lived in a time where there's so many indie games that looks like this that to you it doesn't mean anything.
Yes. Absolutely. It's like there's so many indie games that just look like this, and I'm like, really? This is the greatest thing? This is the atmosphere that is so great? I feel like the bar has been raised so much that this looks like... I watched a video recently about like this, the covered wagon. I don't know if you've seen it. It feels like a video you saw on it, but like the 1920s, Wild West movie, The Covered Wagon. That was like one of the staples for the Western genre.
Mm-hmm.
And like nowadays, you would just see it as like a really cheap-looking comedy, or like not comedy, a really cheap-looking Western, with like obviously fake scenes, obviously fake, like fake Native Americans, a lot of like background projection type of things, and it's like, the kind of I don't get this type of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is kind of the same thing where it's like, it used, like, up until basically until the 50s, the covered wagon used to be, like, one of the staples of, like, the Western genre, but then it got just replaced by other more advanced movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is kind of what I'm looking at. It's like, I'm looking at a silent fucking movie with background projection, with background projected Indians. When I look at this, it's just, I think it's neat what they're doing. I have a certain respect for it, but I absolutely cannot hype it up.
I get you.
Unique little atmospheres, even down to the distinctive sounds your feet make on different surfaces.
Daniel, I'm punching a tree in Minecraft. I'm punching a tree in Minecraft, Daniel.
Does it hurt?
And again, this might seem slight, but then when you get to the final area of the game, listen to how footsteps are used to create a sense of finality and foreboding. Other times, these moments can just be really fucking weird, like an entire dungeon created from toilet stalls, where toilet signs fly off the wall and attack you, and each new stall is a gateway to a stranger, more nonsensical encounter, or a church that acknowledges this is a video game and asks you for your real life name, in a way that definitely won't come back and be meaningful later, and that's the thing.
Oh, don't worry. It absolutely won't be meaningful. Sorry, just chewing on some ice. It's like, no, it won't be meaningful, Daniel. It won't be meaningful. Don't worry.
Oh, it's not gonna tell you to. Did you go outside today?
Did insert name here go outside today?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally that. It's literally that.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally just like, I hope you insert name here. Have a good day today.
I get you.
about Mother 3's world, it is fucking
Would you consider that meaningful?
weird. It's filled with all these bizarre little moments that
Depends
run
how
the
good the
gambit
game is.
from surreal to just hilarious. Like, there's a part later in the game where you have to drain a lake.
But Danny, we've already established that this game is so fucking amazing. Holy shit. So of course it's meaningful because the game is so good. Can't you see the something?
And a scientist gives you a choice of 3 different chimera with which to do it. The dry
How
guy,
come that
the
scene of that fridge falling and all, I just thought of Crystal Skull. And that fridge
Same here. Same here. I was just thinking in the fucking Nuketown.
fucking weird. It's filled with all these bizarre little moments that run the gambit from surreal to just hilarious. Like, there's a part
They did. Oh my god, this was actually like 2 years before Crystal Skull 2. Oh my god, that's kind of funny.
later in the game where you have to drain a lake, and a scientist gives you a choice of 3 different chimera with which to do it.
You know what's so weird? And that moment perfectly illustrated why I absolutely do not vibe with this game. So basically, he describes it like, oh, you have one thing that I guess looks like this, and it's meant to look like a blow dryer, right? And the other one is like a pump thing, and then you just have like in the middle, you just have 2 dudes, and you can pick which one to take. Which one will you take? Will you take the wacky creatures or like just the 2 guys with a bucket?
Yeah. Well, you know, if it was a Rockstar game, if you picked the wrong one, you would have failed.
Yeah.
So this game has more options, more freedom of choice than Rockstar game.
I guess. Honestly, I just would have taken the 2 guys because that sounded like the funniest option. It sounded like the most classic subversion of the thing, but no, it's the pump creature. It's the very clear designated pump creature. And to me, that's really disappointing, actually. Because I thought it would have been super funny if it was just the 2 dudes.
The dry guy, the Clay brothers, or the pump chimera. The pump chimera being the very clearly correct choice. But pick one of the other 2 and you can watch them fail in these really stupid and hilarious animations. And I like this not just because it's funny, but because so much effort went into creating this weird little moments that a lot of people aren't even going to see, in a way that I think other games just wouldn't see the point of doing. A lot of work went into bringing Mother 3's world to life, and one of the places you can really see this is Tazmily Village, home to Lucas and his family. And it's awesome how much subtle world building has gone into this peaceful, self-sufficient little community, like the jail which has never been used, or the fact that the concept of money doesn't even exist here. The villagers free to take whatever they want from the local bazaar, everyone pitching in.
Yep, I guess this is just like the world we're operating on. It's a fucking feudal bartering economy, but not really.
It's the terrifying world of a co-op supermarket.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we have those here.
No, do you live in Mother 3 then?
No.
Oh.
I don't have the quap.
Oh. You don't got the wacky deep hijinks going on?
No, I live in Germany.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it hasn't been in Germany since like 95, so I can't blame you.
Ah, yes, classic Daniel joke number 5. Fucking.
That would not be funny.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm just giving you shit.
And providing
Yeah,
what they can,
but you do.
where you can really see
Huh?
the depth of Tazmily is in its 56 residents, all of which have their own unique character sprite as well as expressive little animations. Each one with their own unique personality, home environment, and even connections to the other villagers, to the point that you can actually map out the different families and relationships that make up Tazmily, and you can even keep track of those villagers as their stories play out over the course of the game, meaning it's really easy to get invested in them if you pay attention, to the point that someone like Nana, the socially awkward town loner, have developed their own online fan communities despite the fact you could easily go the entire game without speaking to her.
Of course they have. Of course they have. It's like it wouldn't be a Nintendo game without like the side characters having like for some reason a bajillion pieces of fan art.
It has its own go up shitto.
Yes. It has its own glub shit-o-verse. Don't you love the little glub shit-o-verse?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That looks weird, but I guess it's just fine. I'm just drawing in the background. Oh, okay. Doing some light doodling.
Doodling
That's
during
the
your
awesome
art
thing
stream
about
about
Mother 3's
Mother 3.
world. It's rare you
Yes.
go more than 10 minutes without experiencing something new, or
Which
funny, or
nobody has
touching or
commented
weird.
yet.
It is a world carved out of these beautiful little experiences. And what I love about Mother 3's battles is how they're an extension of that idea. Mechanically, Mother 3's combat is sound. It's fun and frantic and tense thanks to the rolling health system, i.e. the system by which a death blow from an enemy won't actually kill your character instantly, but instead begin a countdown where death only comes once your health hits 0, meaning if you can heal them or end the battle before that point, they'll be okay. Creating some really tense split-second decision-making, especially in the game's punishing late-game boss encounters that force you to think about everything from how you use the limited inventory space of each character to the individual weaknesses of each opponent and how to exploit them. Failing to do so, meaning bosses like the Barrier Trio will blow your skull out through the back of your head, sending you crashing back to the game over screen again and again, and it's great! But a few minor nitpicks mean I probably wouldn't rank it among my favorite battle systems, and yes, I do think 10-2 is one of the best systems of all time, and if you disagree with that, then I'm sorry, you hate fun! But I also think in judging Mother 3's battle...
I have no opinion on this. Shit, I found Peak, Daniel. I accidentally happened to pause on Peak.
Do you?
Yeah. Fuck, I paused on Peak.
No. I'll make a lion suddenly attack.
Yes.
Oh, is he friends with Kuma? With Cyber Kuma?
Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna save this fucking auto reference.
I don't know. Are you gonna do your own fan art of Glub Shido?
No.
Oh, or is he gonna steal it and say it's mine now?
No. I don't do what other people on DeviantArt do.
Oh, what's that?
Just literally post screenshots of other people's drawings.
Oh, that's yeah, that's the DeviantArt tradition.
That's funny. Yeah.
Cute, I like that.
Mm. Is it Remagen? Remagen. Mhm. All right, they exploded it, didn't they? Shit. Ah, that okay. That pisses me off.
What is that?
Just nothing. It's just, damn it. I hate knowing that the fucking Ludendorff bridge doesn't exist anymore. It just really messes with me because it's a really cool bridge. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Bridge was established. Right, it collapsed to the culminated down from the unsuccessful detonation in the bombs on March. Oh, 10 days after it was captured. Shit. Oh, Panzer announced that there was going to be a civilian and cycle bridge Okay, how's that go? Oh.
Well, COVID happened, so who knows what happened to that?
Yeah, 2022. Shit balls. Damn, it pisses me off because like I have you know my fable for like Imperial German era engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, it really pisses me off. It's like, but at least there was a sound reason for it not to be. At least there was a sound reason.
No, it's not something dumb.
Yeah, it's not like the fucking Hohenzollernbrücke in Cologne where it's like, you know, where it's like it was demolished in the 50s to make more room for more railroad tracks.
Mm.
It's like, let me just show it to you. Like, yeah, again, this is what it used to look like, and it was not like this is what it looks like now. It's fine, it makes for a good silhouette, but it's, dude, look at this, look at these towers, look at this nice, look at this nice balustrade, look at this, look at this brickwork. I love this. Oh, this hurts. This is the shit that hurts me. This is the stuff that always inflicts like copious amounts of. Yeah. Yeah, but we're not repaired and were demolished in 1958.
So.
Yeah. And now these statues are just like randomly standing on some pillars next to the railroads where you never see them.
They went to Fallout 4 editor mode.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
Over there.
Look how nice this looks. It's a little bit cheap.
Cool looking.
Right. Like, God, fucking pre-war Cologne was so beautiful.
Okay, I didn't realize how big those statues were. Shit.
Right? And again, they were big, but at the same time, you can barely see them now.
Yeah.
Like what's the point of this shit?
Hmm.
What's the point of this shit? And same with the original train station. Like the old Cologne station. Like, this is what it used to look like.
Hmm.
Like, this is the kind of shit. I know you have a particular fable for like pre-1906 earthquake San Francisco. To me, I have a fable for pre-bombing Cologne.
Hmm.
Like, damn it. Like, it's just so cool. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just it's a pity, especially because some of the stuff could have been rebuilt, but it's just, again, it's a little bit of a post-war thing, and I guess again it just wasn't in the spirit of the times, like mid-20th century and stuff like this. It would have been nice, it would have been cool, but yeah, I feel like nowadays it would have been a brilliant tourist attraction, but you know, shit.
Solely on a mechanical basis, you might be missing the best thing about them. And to show you what I mean here, let's talk about Negative Man. You find Negative Man hidden away in a side path of a small late game dungeon. There is no explanation for him, he carries no story significance, beating him does not progress your game. He just kind of is, and when you fight him, this happens. Negative Man muttered, "It's always the same." Negative Man sobbed, moaned, and started wailing. To see her from Lucas's perspective, as this—
Oh, sorry.
who hate fun, but I also think in judging Mother 3's battles solely on a mechanical basis, you might be missing the best thing about them. And to show you what I mean here, let's talk about Negative Man. You find Negative Man hidden away in a side path of a small late game dungeon. There is no explanation for him, he carries no story significance, beating him does not progress your game. He just kind of is, and when you fight him, this happens. Negative Man muttered, "It's always the same." Negative Man sobbed, moaned, and started wailing. Negative Man moaned, "Just get rid of me now." He barely attacks, and when he does, he inflicts just a single point of damage. And so, for a while, it's just you and your party wailing on this morbidly depressed protoplasm. And then when it's over, it's just like, what the fuck was that? But I think in the same way, what you took from the firework was the memory of the firework, what you take from Negative Man is the memory of Negative Man. He is just another strange part of this world you got to experience, but this time it's through the battle system. And it's not just him, there are so many strange and memorable encounters like this. Remember the mole cricket we talked about from the tutorial? He later returns and explains that he was emotionally devastated by his loss to you and has spent years training for revenge. He takes you to the Cricket Kingdom where a cricket elder will preside over your rematch, lays out an elaborate system of rules, and then after everything, you beat him in one hit and it's fucking great. Sometimes the encounters are just really weird and random, like searching a haunted kitchen and finding a spooky jar of ghost jam, and this enemy doesn't appear anywhere else in the game. It was just made for the surprise of this moment. And that's the thing about Mother 3's encounters, they are constantly surprising and memorable. Despite the fact that the enemies are all just still images, they still convey a massive amount of personality thanks to the beautiful, soft, expressive artwork that makes even machines of war feel friendly and cute.
Again, this is one of those things where I have to agree with it. I think this tag looks really cool. It appeals to me in the same way friggin' in the same way Metal Slug and Dominion Tank Police does.
Just the proportions, like.
Yeah. The big gun, the thing. It has a very Napoleon. Sorry, very Bonaparte from Dominion Tank Police sort of vibe.
Many enemies even having their own unique gameplay mechanics that build on that personality, like the rocking ghosts who are a pain in the ass, but if you can pull two of them into the one battle, they will begin jousting each other instead of you. And there are so many of these battles I want to talk about, but the last one I will is Big Bro and Lil Big Bro, two enemies who by themselves are kind of useless due to their crippling anxiety, meaning they can't even attack you. But if you return to this area later in the game, the two have overcome their personal problems together and made a single competent enemy, and it's so stupid and sweet. But this is the beautiful thing about Mother 3's world. It is designed around creating these little moments that just stay with you, and it encourages you to be curious, to seek out the oddities that are waiting for you, and the battles become just another part of that. And so while a huge part of this game is about grief and loss, it's also about the joy of existing in a world that is endlessly surprising and fascinating. And that's why it feels so wrong when that world starts to change. There's no gentle way to put this, but the evil creeping through Mother 3's world, and particularly Tazmily, isn't your typical RPG ambiguous nameless darkness, it is straight up fascism. And I don't say that because the Pigmask army do literal Nazi salutes, or the fact that they say offensive things in battle, or that they want non-binary people to disappear for reasons that are confusing and ridiculous, but in how they corrupt the culture of Tazmily. And it starts so small, the mysterious salesman Facade introducing the concept of money to Tazmily by purchasing pigs from a local farm boy.
They introduced the concept of money and it all went down from there.
Oh.
I'm not joking.
From that one interaction, the entire town begins to twist and distort, as the villagers begin to listen to Facade's promises of happiness, but also his messages of fear, as he warns them of great lightning storms that will obliterate their homes and the monstrous chimera that have begun to flood their forests, both the work of Facade and his Pigmask army. But the people of Tazmily don't know this, and fear begins to spill throughout the community, Facade infecting Tazmily with his capitalist way of life. And something really sad starts to happen. You watch this village die. Not by being destroyed or burnt down, but by having its entire way of life erased, as its dirt roads become paved with concrete and its buildings begin to stretch into the sky. As the villagers begin to want...
Yeah, sorry, that absolutely does not seem like it stretches into the sky. That's literally just like a random fucking nondescript RPG building.
Hmm.
Like, that's just what that art style looks like to me. Like, if I was to be really mean, I would say, like, this is what every building in post-war Germany looked like.
Hmm.
Down to the fucking weird yellow paint.
As the villagers begin to want more and more, now earning money by working in a massive factory run by the Pigmasks, abandoning their small, self-sufficient way of life, so that when the factory is shut down, the villagers are left without any means to support themselves, forcing the villagers to abandon Tazmily, leaving its once bustling streets now silent and empty, its people migrating to New Pork City, a capitalist nightmare where every corner reeks of falsehoods.
Again, the whole Akira aspect is even more just obvious here.
Overpriced but ineffective weaponry to its skyline made up of cardboard cutouts. Its buildings a mishmash of different cultures and aesthetics spliced together without reason or thought. The little village of Tazmily, now gone, absorbed into this grotesque concrete monolith. Its rulers oblivious to the lives they've destroyed, one of those lives being Lucas. It's about 8 hours into the game before we take control of Lucas again, and now everything's different. 3 years have passed since the death of Hinoa, and watch how beautifully the game conveys the emptiness Lucas still feels from her passing. In a scene that mirrors the beginning of the game, he awakens in his pajamas, but try to run outside this time, and it's not Hinoa that stops him, but Lucas's memory of her. And having previously experienced this moment, you feel that. You feel the emptiness left by Hinoa in Lucas's life. Approach the mirror to get changed, and another memory of Hinoa is triggered. Lucas feeling his mother's absence in every corner of their home, and it's devastating. But it's not just Hinoa he's lost. Shortly after his mother's death, Klaus disappeared, and Flint now spends every waking second searching the mountains for his lost son, returning only sporadically to place flowers at Hinoa's grave. Lucas having watched as every part of his world is replaced with something colder and crueler, now alone in a frightening new existence. I'm guessing this is probably apparent by now, but for as joyous as Mother 3 is, its world can be obscenely dark and even frightening. There's even one section later in the game where the characters experience a surreal mushroom-fueled hallucination based on what Itoi describes as his worst fear, a place where everyone you love hates you. And this section is a goddamn nightmare. Inside the mailbox was the sound of yourself crying. Everyone's waiting for you. Everyone's waiting to throw rocks at you, spit on you, and make your life hell. Stuffed inside the mailbox was sheer, never-ending darkness. I'm gonna beat you, boy. Daddy's gonna beat you. Your mommy's waiting for you. She's waiting. She's waiting for you. It's moments like this where it feels like the game is actively trying to shock and upset the player, including one that would nearly certainly get this video demonetized if I was to talk about it properly, but you can check the description if you want my thoughts on it and a full content warning. It's the darker moments of Mother 3 that feel so at odds with the earlier joyous, happy tone of the game, but that contrast seems intentional. Famously, one of Itoi's childhood memories is that he wandered into the wrong cinema as an infant and witnessed a murder scene from the film Military Policeman and the Dismembered Beauty. And while not explicit, you can see how this scene would have been traumatizing to a small child not expecting it. How afterwards it would have made the world seem like a darker, more frightening place. And Itoi has spoken about wanting to create moments like this in his games that replicate that loss of innocence. That concept, that loss of innocence, is a huge part of Lucas as a character. When you first meet him, he's constantly described as a crybaby and coddled, weaker and meeker than his older brother Klaus, and this is reflected in his battle ability, with only a slightly higher attack stat than average and lacking both the magic of Kumatora and the debuffs of Duster. Okay, look, I accidentally deleted the aura in Duster when I was entering his name in the name entry screen, and by the time I noticed it, it was too late, and I'm not going back and recording the footage, so can we just not be too mean about it in the comments? Okay, thank you. But as the game goes on, something really cool starts to happen. Lucas learns that he is one of 2 people who can pull the needles binding a massive dragon beneath the core of Mother 3's world. And if someone pure-hearted pulls the needles, the dragon will awaken to be a force of good. But if someone evil does it, it will devour all of humanity. And so, Lucas accepts this massive, impossible adventure alongside his dog Boney, Kumatora, and Duster. Duster, fuck it! And as the game goes on, Lucas's weakness begins to fall away, people commenting on how much he's grown. And the really awesome part is you start to feel that in the battles. Lucas eventually obtaining powerful endgame spells like Mass Heal and Mass Resurrect, meaning he now becomes the beating heart of your team, the party member that you will build your entire strategy around, creating this feeling that like, wow, this kid went from being this weak, lost child to now being this ultra-powerful psychic user. He went through hell, but he got through it. He became stronger. And it's just this really lovely conveyance of character development through gameplay mechanics. However, there's a problem, in that someone just as powerful as Lucas has also been pulling the dragon's needles. But when they do, there's not a sense of good or evil, just a deep feeling of emptiness.
Hi, it's me again. So we're about to enter major spoiler territory, and so you can skip to here if you want to avoid. But I just want to...
There's no escaping Daniel from the Mother 3 brilliant writing.
I don't think you knowing what's going to happen in Mother 3 is really going to affect your enjoyment of the game. It's just not that kind of experience. But hey, listen, you do you, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna go. Actually, you know, it felt really weird and stilted being like, I'm gonna go and just exit the frame like that. So,
I don't know if the way the game is structured, because it's JRPG, whether or not you level up after battles or whatever.
That I'm pretty proud of coming up. And
I always think that's one of the hardest things in games to pull off, is the ability to
weird and awkward, and
is to level up at a reasonable place so you don't reach the final boss and still overpowered. That doesn't hold any meaning.
The longer it goes on, the stranger and worse it feels. And oh my god, it just keeps going. John, when you're editing this, please don't use this footage. It just makes me look like a rambling crazy person.
Throughout your journey, you'll encounter the Masked Man, an extremely powerful psychic user who acts as an enforcer for the fascist Pigmask army, as well as the one other person able to pull the needles binding the dragon. And it is not too difficult to figure out who this person actually is, but the way the game confirms it to you is really cool. At the start of the game, Mother 3 asks you what your favorite thing is, and I entered the name of my partner because I like them a lot, and also the word wrestling wouldn't fit, and this becomes the name of your most powerful attack, which is why it's so jarring when the Masked Man uses that same attack on you. And this confirms what you've suspected the entire game. This fascist force of evil is your brother Klaus. You don't know what's happened to him in the 3 years since Hanao's death, but he's different now. He's changed. Everything Klaus wants...
Yes, just to reconcile, this kid is like fucking 15, and he's always like a fucking... like a Hitler Youth Enforcer, like basically like the entire General Field Marshal of the German army.
No.
At 15.
Well, it's more believable than Ender's Game, where the main character is like 6 or some shit like that.
Are you joking?
No.
Oh god.
Is gone, replaced by something cold and nearly mechanical. Like something terrible and nihilistic has crawled its way inside Klaus. And it has. The same thing that's been creeping through the entire world since the beginning of the game. And it's only in the final hours of Mother 3 you discover who this person is. Porky, the villain of Mother 2. And it's strange to introduce...
Really? The new Pork City guy was ruled by a guy named Porky that you probably would have already known from the previous game? Really? Jesus fuck.
Villain this late into the game, but you've also felt his presence the entire time.
Sitting down
this is the person who's been splicing animals into freakish chimeras, the one who has treated this world as well as the lives of every person in it as his own personal toy box. That's who this guy is, a being who seeks absolute control over all natural life, to the point that he's even rejected death itself, now an infinite, endless corpse trying to contort the world to his will. So, while Lucas's story has been about accepting death, Porky has completely rejected it. And you can see how strong that rejection of all natural life is in the final moments of your battle with him, where, rather than be defeated by you, he seals himself away in his absolute...
He just becomes Mecha Hitler.
Where nothing can ever harm him again, but from which he can also never escape. His infinite, endless existence, free of all joy and all pain, till the end of time. This is why I think Porky is a great villain. He is oblivion. He is the nihilistic desire to escape all feeling, but it's that nihilism that's crawled inside Klaus. And so you step towards your brother, the final needle in sight, and the finality of your entire journey just hits you. It's hard not to think back to who Lucas and Klaus were at the beginning of this game and who they are now. As the battle begins, your entire party is wiped out. This fight is between Lucas and Klaus and no one else. Lucas battling not just to save the world, but to get his brother back. And Klaus to bring about true oblivion. And what's awesome is how the emotions of both characters are communicated through the battle mechanics. Klaus lashing out at Lucas, striking him with killing blow after killing blow, but try and attack with Lucas, and he cannot bring himself to harm his brother, even with the end of the world looming. It's only when Flint appears that this changes, and he is overjoyed to see his lost son, reuniting his family for one beautiful, terrible moment, before he's critically injured, shielding Lucas from Klaus's attacks. And it's upon seeing this, Lucas is able to finally let go of the brother he knew, the two now trading massive, vicious damage back and forth, as both their lives begin to eke away. But something else has started to happen. A voice has begun echoing out through the darkness. Klaus. It was Hinea's voice. We see an image of two cribs side by side, a sunflower swaying gently in the breeze, and Hinea pleads with her sons to stop hurting each other. At first, Klaus ignores her, unable to let go of all the emptiness that has brought him to this moment. But as the spirit of his mother pleads, Klaus begins to do less and less damage, and the battle messages start to change. The masked man shut his eyes. Lucas wanted to cry. The masked man gazed at Lucas. Finally, Hinea's words reach Klaus. You must be so exhausted. And Klaus removes his helmet. We fade to white, and this text appears. Klaus staggered towards Lucas. Klaus embraced Lucas. Lucas remembered Klaus's smell. I'm really happy you could be with me just before the end. I'm going to where Mom is now. Thank you.
No problem, bro.
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Oh my god, that's so fucking sad. Jesus Christ. I cried the first time I played this, and if Nintendo's marketing is to be believed, I think a lot of people did. And what that comes down to, at least for me, is more than just this sad story between two brothers. Personally, I think where it starts is the dragon. At this point, Klaus has pulled 3 needles and Lucas has pulled 3 needles, and so the one to pull the final needle is going to be the one to influence the soul of the dragon. And so what is the dragon? What is this big, ridiculous story element that's been looming over the entire game? And personally, I think the dragon is us. And I know that sounds kind of stupid, but to me, this entire fight, this entire encounter, it's a grief and how we handle it. Do we embrace oblivion? Do we give into nothingness and reject all pain and happiness just to avoid the feeling of loss like Klaus? Or do we take that loss? Do we feel every inch of it and make it part of ourselves, like Lucas? To me, that's the heart of this fight. It ends, and Lucas pulls the final needle, and the world gets plunged into this infinite darkness with text just appearing on screen that just says, the end. And it's devastating. But then, something really strange happens. You can actually control the text. You can control the end. And
Oh yeah, and this is the point where basically like the thing comes back and like he goes into hey otherworld, be good to John or whatever. It's basically like this little bit of a circle jerk.
Mm.
And I feel like this is kind of where my previous argument, where I want to connect to my previous argument about saying, I feel like it makes sense to connect this game to the time period, or like to the time period where this medium is made. Again, it makes so much sense that this got traffic, like that he came to that conclusion during the, like right as like right in 2021 during the pandemic. It's just one of those things where I feel like this game telling you that you matter would not have gotten this much of a, again, assuming this isn't just an entire bit, this wouldn't, I don't think this would have gotten that much of an emotional response out of anybody else at any other time.
Hmm.
What do you think?
It's definitely interesting. I feel like a lot of it is because the summary. It feels like a lot of it is like I feel like you have to play it to understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's kind of hard because I know there's certain games where I'm like, it's not the greatest, but it did have an impact. Like I think one of the best games to kind of have a moment like this came from a game nobody remembers, and that was Azura's Wrath.
Hmm?
Where everything in that entire game is freaking quick time events. You're constantly mashing that freaking button, which to me really does feel like you're representing this character's anger. And then at the very end of the game, where you suddenly don't have that anger anymore, so suddenly you don't do any more quick time events, which actually did feel like that was
Mhm.
really cool. But I think it's really hard to pull off something like that. Like it can be done. I just think either like the context you played it in or like if you were in the mood for it. So like, like there's pieces of media where I've listened or I watched or listened and like, oh, that was all right, and you come back to it 5 years later, and you're like, oh shit, that was really good. Or you come back 5 years later again, you're like, that was cool as shit. Like Bioshock Infinite. So
Mm-hmm.
because I remember that game was like, wow, those are great moments. In like 5, 7 years later, like this game's full of shit.
Yeah.
To the point where now, I think I mentioned a long time ago, but like I reached that point where this game means absolutely nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's hard. Like I think this also, I think maybe kind of thinking about this video and watching it is like this also feels like a personal thing too, where it's hard to describe something that's so emotional and personal to you, and other people are like, oh, that's all right. I don't see what the big deal is though, so that could be it. But I don't know, that's just my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, I still think it's hard to not think of it as like that Nintendo bullshittery.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really hard not for me to not think of that.
Yeah.
And I guess this is kind of one of those things where kind of my opinion kind of diverges from again from his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this again, I've never really seen what the big thing about the Mother series actually was.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to actually, go through.
Yeah. I always got the impression that Earthbound was one of those games that you have to have played, otherwise you don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always heard people gave it its high praise or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost want to ask, because now that the video's ended, what are your thoughts overall on this whole thing?
Again, I think it's just even I think personally, even taking into account that it's a large part of it is his impressions and his opinion, I think it's again I still can't help but see it as like some of the most like, superficial things. Because if I have to summarize it, it's like a text screen, a book, a depiction of baths, and uh, a scene with fireworks. I feel like this is kind of what I've gotten from this video. Like I cannot. To me, it just does not want to merge into a bigger thing, and to me, that's just sad because I really think he's trying to communicate it. I do think he is, but I feel like to me, it's failing so spectacularly that it just does not. Not only does it not work, but it's like it just actively makes me think like he's trying to be not malicious, but just very disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the impression that I'm getting, and it's probably it probably is too bad, but it's like again, this is the fine line you always tread when you have like a persona that's also you, but especially like in reviews and stuff like this, because I feel like when you do it in like whatever in cartoons or whatever, it's not that bad, but it's like when it's like in specifically a review thing, you could easily just fucking go full on walk of the wall mode.
Mm.
And I feel like this is kind of approaching that level.
No, I get you. I think a lot of his I think too, like with anybody, as time goes on, you can express yourself in more different ways, or you're able to better express yourself. Maybe it could just be that, it was an earlier video, because at this point it's like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to tell. I haven't watched a lot of his content. I know I watch a lot of his stream stuff, and I watch Super Eye Patch Wolf or was it versus Wolves all the time. So it's kind of hard to me to get a kind of gauge where he's at with a lot of his content.
Mm. I definitely agree. It is hard to really gauge.
Yeah, like Because like I remember a lot of videos, like from The Simpsons, stuff like that, where there's a level of passion, sincerity. But I know, kind of watching this video, it's kind of hard. Where it's like I didn't feel like that in other videos. I can't tell if this was a bit or if it's just it wasn't his best video he made.
Yeah, that's also a thing because like I feel like it's really poor. Like I don't remember him being this bad. Like I haven't watched a video of his in a while, and it's like, wow, did he used to be this bad?
I think if you see the video, like, again, I love his videos. Like his Dokapon is the funniest thing ever. So I think it's just, I think if you see the video, it kind of feels like the impression I get is like he's grasping for straws in this video. Like he describes this stuff, it's like, is that it?
Yeah, exactly, absolutely, and that's kind of what made me angry because I want to understand the hype around the Earthbound series. I do, but it's like I feel like this was so grasping at straws that just makes me go like, are you trying to fucking suck at me? Are you trying to like appeal? Knowing that you're trying to suck at me, are you trying to just like appeal to like mother fans? Do you want to have your opinion validated? Is that it, or like, what is going on here? Like that's kind of what I'm. Just like there's a reason I sent you that fucking Frank Fontaine clip going fucking, you know, like, maybe I should get myself a real wife and kids. Plays good for the suckers. Or you know, like shit like this, because it just, that level of just disingenuousness is kind of what I got from this. It's just like this,
yeah.
Just not impressed at all. And I'm a little bit sad about that, because I don't wanna like his content. Again, his association with Willy Versus just automatically gives him some street cred, and it's just like, oh, this is the kind of stuff that really just like, oh, it has to be one of the most like grasping at straws things.
Yeah. Like it's hard because it's a 25-hour game, which I don't know if like it's hard to tell because I know like this story can be done especially in a limited format because I haven't finished it, but I was like the one thing I love about Lost Odyssey was like here's some visual novels, like oh shit, some of the most well-read things I think I've ever read, and you felt a lot of genuine emotion, so it can be done in a space in a a video game like this. It takes a lot of skill to pull that off.
Yeah. At least for you, was that achieved?
This video or what I was talking
about? Sorry, I phrased it weirdly. Do you think he's kind of being like that? Do you think he's do you think he's, again, I think it goes back to the question, like, do you think he's being genuine? Like, is this really one of like the best things, or is this just like something that caught him at an emotional moment?
I want to say this is my opinion. I watched a lot of this again. I think this was the best game he played at the time. I think he's played something better. I know he loves Fear and Hunger and a lot of these other games. And now that I've watched him on Holy vs. Wolves, where he kind of talks about his anxieties, so I think this really appeals like the part about like the bathrooms or the you're being a part of a place where everybody hates you, which he did a really phenomenal video on like psychological horrors. I think this had a big impact on, like, I'd say yes, absolutely did. He has a lot of anxiety about like people who don't like you and stuff like that. So I think that really dwells into something that he is very attached to.
Huh, I think that's really interesting.
I would actually give that one out to find it, where you can find some video on like psychological horror or like some of those scary stories to him, and a lot of it is just like what happens if you're with somebody who just hates you the whole time, but they don't express it.
Oh.
So I think that's kind of the impression I got from Mother 3 is that a lot of those little moments of like anxiety really spoke to him. But beyond that, the rest of it's like I don't see what the big deal is. So it's hard. Like I can see it, but also it's like it feels like it's you're trying to pick for like other emotional details.
Absolutely. I feel like this was just damn. It's like damn son. It's to me it has the same amount of vibe as somebody who hasn't played a video game like this in a long time. And like now that it just again it's that what I got from it really was that sense of like Nintendo suckery.
Yeah.
That sense of like Nintendo nostalgia, and it's like, oh god, yeah, you're trying to present like again. This is what made me angry so much. Where it's like, when I wanted to watch this because it just had me at that level of like, you're trying to give Nintendo an advantage because it does a nice presentation. And I feel like it doesn't deserve just because it has a decent presentation or like does a minor few interesting elements that ultimately don't really have that much substance, like a popcorn or like a fast food type of deal. But yeah, I feel like the way you described it definitely definitely made me understand him a little bit better.
And I think that's always like, because I like a lot of his content, but I think I wish he would organize it better. Because there's some videos like, it's just a bit, or something like that. And I think that's what I've always found confusing about his channel. Like, all right, where's the sincerity when it's just a bit, or when you're playing stuff, or was it, hey, I want to make my own video, my own like writing, something. Like he did that thing on fake video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think his main channel is just so hard to kind of filter. But now that he does regular, I was like, okay, now I kind of got a better grasp of what he wants to do or what's he about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious if he was to remake this video, it would be better explained. Because I think again, a lot of this had to do with because I'm familiar with this other content, and I can actually see why to you it's like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And but also I don't know, it's definitely hard because again, it's like it just feels like a kid's game. But that's the always thing that always lost on me because, like I said, I'm very ignorant of Nintendo because I don't know it, and that's the hardest thing for me to grasp. It's like everyone's like, this is the deepest lore, but you look at it, like, it looks like kids games. I don't see anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I was in class and we had to go over the book, The Little Prince, and everybody was holding this book in such high regard, and to me, it was like it's bullshit. So
yeah.
So it's hard. I think it's just it's your own view of something, kind of where you'll get value from it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But any other last thoughts? I know I gotta get ready. Gotta go get ready for work in a bit.
Yeah, same here. I'm getting a little bit tired. Yeah, I think it's absolutely a I absolutely do think it's just interesting seeing different people's takes on like something again that you don't really care about that much. I feel like that's why it's important to expose yourself to something like Mother, even though it's something just the quirkiness and weirdness and like the lack of any kind of specific like historical or real world references that much. It just doesn't appeal to me that much. But it's still important enough of a franchise to you can get yourself interested in it.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever thought about looking at the other videos talking about Mother 3 and see if they could better get their point across, or is it just a general I'm not that interested in?
I think I should. Yeah, I think this is one of those things, yeah. I think this is something I can definitely look into, and because at least I want to get like a better understanding or just a deeper kind of vibe. I want maybe a deeper understanding, but also just I want to fulfill my own curiosity regarding regarding this franchise. Because again, this is one of those things where I feel like people have people do again to people during my own childhood or like my old like my sort of teenage years and stuff like this that I've spent online. It was basically taken for granted that you know what Earthbound is. Like that everybody just gave a very surface level overview of it, so it's like damn. It's like it feels like because people have done such a surface level and kind of poor take on it in the past, I kind of want to see what he can do with it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Glad we were able to watch that. You were telling me about it. I was kind of curious. It was also fun to sit with you on a stream. So.
Oh, thanks. That really means a lot. Yeah, and I hope everybody who at least decided to watch it had some fun. And yeah, next time either Monday or Tuesday it'll be a regular art stream again. Again, this is just an experiment, and it was at least glad to have Daniel on. Maybe he can join us for like just a regular art stream in the future and stuff like this. I really do. I talk with him daily, and it's like I'd love to get other people in on this and maybe have an actual conversation with a couple of people in the chat. But yeah, again, this was a lot of fun, and I hope that everybody has a good day and a good weekend, and yeah, join us next time for some more regular stuff. All right. You want to say goodbye?
Oh, yeah.